Well, the Phillies are finally back in the win column. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Set Show. Video Cashier and Kevin. Last night's game is in the filthy Phillies and the Colorado Rockies as the Phillies defeat the Rockies by a final score of 6-1 as they take the third game of this four-game set. They look to split the series today at 105 Nuggets. Before getting into this video, please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please share notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. I mean, what a nice performance last night out of the Phillies, right? I mean, I'm not really going to get too over excited about this. Don't really think we're going to make it the playoffs, but one positive I'm going to take out of this is Bryce Harper, right? I mean, in this race for the NL MVP, and he just continues to just stay red hot, right? Another home run last night, and this offense looked pretty good last night. Puts in across 6 runs against this pretty bad Colorado Rockies team, and Zach Wheeler, his second start in a row where he looked pretty good. So that's a good sign here as we're getting through the mid-month of September now. Hard to believe we're already almost halfway through the month of September already, right? So yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, right? So it's hard to believe it's been 20 years. And I just want to take a moment to recognize and honor those lives that were lost in that horrific day, right? The two World Trade Center buildings in New York City were both struck by airplanes and, were eventually, collapsed. And then, the Pentagon was in, and then the plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, one of the people on board saved from hitting another, big landmark in the United States. So that probably was going to be heading towards D.C. So, it's a really, really horrific day in our nation's history. I believe it was 20 years ago yesterday. It's just a very, very sad day, right? A very, very sad day. It's a day we remember and reflect on the past. I pray for the victims. Families of that attack. It's just very, very sad, right? But America's strong. Proud to be an American. Proud to say that. It was a great pregame ceremony before the game. They displayed some videos, and this was great, right? National anthem was awesome. So, you saw the Harry Cowles video, the flashback. That was awesome as well. As you jump into the scoring summary in the bottom of the fourth inning, Didi Gregorius batting with the bases loaded as he draws a bases loaded walk to score Gene Segura. As the Phillies now lead it 1-0. So I want to say great job, Didi Gregorius, but he got nothing to hit it at, Pat. I mean, it wasn't really that hard. There you go, and the Phillies lead it 1-0. Get runs any way you can, right? And then we pick it up, same inning. Odubel Herrera puts on a bunch, right? I mean, he bunted it up the third baseline. They were not expecting that at all. I don't understand what in the world was going on over there as they tried to barehand it, and he went all the way down the left field line into foul territory up the third base line. And that went down as a double for Odubel, his 21st of the season, to score Bryce Harper and Andrew McCutchen as the Phillies now lead it 3-0. And even Bud Black, the manager of the Colorado Rockies, even said, I mean, that's just a brilliant play right there. That is just a brilliant play right there. He said he wasn't expecting it. Of course he wasn't expecting that. I mean, that was just awesome. Pick it up, bottom of the fifth inning. Gene Segura unloads as he homers on the line drive to left center field, his 12th of the season. And it's now 4-0 Philadelphia. So Gene Segura getting a hold of one right there. He crushed that ball. So 12 home runs now for Gene. Then we pick it up top of the sixth inning. I went up and sat in section 301 by the Fandemic Crew. I think that is where the Fandemic Crew sits. Of course, my tickets are on 104. I just wanted to chill up there for a little bit as Trevor Story unloads on a deep fly ball to left center field, his 21st of the season. We talked about him kind of having a down year. He certainly didn't look down on this one as the Rockies get on the board now at 4-1 ballgame. So a solo shot for Trevor Story. I mean, not the end of the world, right? Gets the Rockies on the board. So a Story with his 21st. 4-1 ballgame. They pick it up bottom of the seventh inning. Brad Miller. It's a towering shot to right field. I've been to so many games, right? And I could tell what's a home run and what's not a home run. Usually, but I thought that ball was just going to be not a lazy fly ball. I thought that was warning track power thing. Like, this ball is probably not going to be going out. It carried and carried and carried and carried out. That was Brad's 18th home run of the season. A solo shot to get the Phillies now a 5-1 lead. So Brad Miller, I mean, he's on the doorstep of 20 home runs now, just 2 shy of that. So I'd love to see him get that. I mean, you got to re-sign this guy. He's a good bench bat. He's a good platoon player. And for a guy that's a part-time player, 20 home runs, I mean, that's impressive. I think you got to re-sign Brad Miller and have him as a bench bat. Then in the same inning, Bryce Harper. Does it again, ladies and gentlemen, as he homers on a deep fly ball to center field into the Phillies bullpen. His 31st of the season, a solo shot. Now 71 RBIs on the year as the Phillies now lead it 6-1. If this guy doesn't win NL MVP, it's a disgrace. And I honestly think he has a chance at 36 home runs. I really do believe that. The amount of bad teams we're playing to finish off the season. He's on a home run tear right now. He's red hot. The amount of bad teams we're playing, he could easily do it. He's going to light up the Baltimore Orioles. I am just so excited. I got to believe he's going to hit around like 35, 36. So awesome job right there from Bryce. Some of them said 40. I mean, no, hopefully next year he could do that. But he's got to win NL MVP. I mean, there's no way. We don't have. I mean, there's only 20 games left. I find it hard to believe that he would do that. But who knows, right? I mean, he'd have to hit a home run on every other game on average. But of course, it's technically doable, but it's a tough task. He's just 9 shy of 40. As Matt Veland gets to start at first base and out of leadoff spot, we all know he's cooled off, right? A hitless performance last night. Brad Miller came in and took over and got that pinch hit home run. Gene Segura, 2 hits, right? That long home run to left center field. Working his average back up to close to 300 as it sits at 297. Has an 803 OPS. Sheen has had a very solid season overall. Bryce Harper, only one hit was a big one. The long home run that traveled 435 feet into the Phillies bullpen. Now, 2 home runs, his last 2 home runs have both went 435 feet. How weird is that? Same exact distance, just with different parts of the ballpark. Also scoring on the Odubel Herrera bunt double. And then we got Andrew McCutchen. Pretty good night last night. Hucked into 2 hits and also pushed him across a walk. And that was nice to see that. I mean, I love to see him get his OPS above 800 to finish out the season, right? Average above the 230s. It's definitely doable to finish out this, these next, 20 games. JT Realmuto. I don't know what's going on with JT Realmuto. I don't. And, he failed with the bases loaded. He had bases loaded, nobody out, he strikes out. I mean, he's having trouble swinging the bat on pitches that are in the strike zone. He swings the pitches that are out of the strike zone, and then he looks at pitches that are in the strike zone. Now, I don't really like it when people are like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's terrible. Like, get off this team and everything like that." But how about imagine if I had to go out there and try to play, I'd be awful. So I'm gonna give him a break. Of course, they're professionals, but I mean, come on. I mean, we're not perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So you have to keep that in mind as well. You got it. I'm not really going to try to give him a pass. I mean, he's been bad and he needs to clean it up. I mean, there's no question about that. But I'm gonna have a little sympathy for JT. Not his night last night. And Diego Gregorius, the one hit, also collecting an RBI on the bases loaded walk, which was pretty lucky for him. And Odubel Herrera, 2 hits last night with 2 RBIs, that quote double, right? Of course, it was a double. That beautiful bunny placed up the third base line. That was brilliant. So I love to see that, man. That was just a brilliant play. And how about great at bat by Mickey Moniak? How about you swing the bat, buddy? Then we take a look at Zach Wheeler. Starts 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run. The run was earned. That was the home run 2 story, 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. So, as I said before, this is now 2 straight starts. He's actually looked pretty good. I really like his fastball. He just continues to just be amazing, right? Collects his 1,000th career strikeout. So congratulations to Zach Wheeler on reaching that mark, 1K career strikeouts. That's a big deal. Just goes to show you how good he's been in his career and how good he's been since joining the Phils. He gets to win now 13-9 in the year, right? So he looked pretty good with his command. I mean, only allowing 4 hits and allowing 2 walks and struck out 8. I mean, through 6 2/3 innings. That's pretty good, right? Like I said, I mean, not really having to go as deep. I mean, just to kind of preserve his arm. I think he's getting tired, and it makes sense, right? I mean, he's had a lot of innings this year. He's at the tops in baseball of innings pitched. So I understand that. Yeah. So Jose Alvarado had to come in that 7th inning and collect the final out, and he did just that. And Hector Neris, a little bit of a shaky appearance there in the 8th inning, but he was able to get out of it. So I give him credit on that. And then Archie Bradley came in the top of the 9th inning and got the job done. It wasn't perfect, but he got the job done. That's all that matters. It's a Phillies win, 6-1, as they are now 2 games above 500. As they do gain some ground right now, only 3.5 back from the first place spot in the NL East. You saw the fan graphs, percentage for the playoffs. And the Phillies were around 20-30%, right? So they're not really high, and I understand that, right? I mean, I understand that the Braves probably will win this division. Who knows, though? I mean, they could collapse, and then maybe the Phillies get out at the right time, and the Phillies can win this division. With 20 games left to go, anything could happen, right? I mean, this is meaningful baseball. It's nice to go to the ballpark with some meaningful baseball, despite this being a 500 team, pretty much. They could turn it around. They can get hot at the right time. The Braves can get cold at the right time, and it could all work out, right? So who knows? I mean, the Mets are a team that doesn't really scare me too much, despite them being only a game and a half back from the Phils. They just don't really scare me, right? And honestly, if I was a Braves fan, the Phillies wouldn't really scare me either. I'm just going to be brutally honest. If you want my honest opinion, you're going to get it. If I was a Braves fan, I wouldn't really be that concerned about the Phils. I just wouldn't. I'd be thinking about them, but it wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, the Phils. Yeah, we're closer to the Mets than we are the Braves, so I get that. I get that. So that makes a lot of sense. So one of the first pitch today, so we have Feltner on the mound for Colorado, 0-1 with a 20.25 ERA. And we got Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phils, 7-8 with a 4.57 ERA, going off of another Rocky start. But one thing I will say, Aaron Nola statistically does pitch well in day games. And especially at CBP, he actually does pretty well day games at CBP. One start he did not do so well on was that starting against the Cincinnati Reds last month. That was on a Sunday. He didn't really look so good there. But usually, yes, typically Aaron Nola does pitch pretty well on day games. So hopefully that continues today. I apologize for getting this video out so late, right? I went to the game last night. And I'm very, very tired, right? I got a lot going on right now, so my apologies for getting that video out so late. Like I said before, going back to what I was saying about the Phils, I mean, if you're really expecting to make a lot of, make ground off of this and build momentum off of this, I mean, I honestly, I think you're just, kind of fooling yourself, right? I mean, you could think that, but you got to keep in mind, I mean, this is a Colorado Rockies team that's just terrible, right? And they should have won the first two games. The second game wasn't winnable, but any game against this Colorado Rockies team is winnable. This Rockies team is just a disgrace. And we got the Chicago Cubs coming to town. I mean, this is a pretty easy schedule. We got the Cubs, then you got the Mets at Citi Field. That's going to be tough. Then you got the Orioles and the Pirates, two of one of the baseball's worst teams, coming to Citizens Bank Park. Then we go to Atlanta. That's going to be tough. I will say that. And then we go down to Miami, so to finish out the season. So it's hard to believe. I mean, we're almost halfway through the month of September. We don't really have that much left of baseball to play, right? Only 20 games left. My grind is almost complete. It's hard to believe we're at this point of the season. You may hear 20 games and think, oh, wow. I mean, that's 20 games. That's a good amount of games. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it goes by quick, right? You go take a look at the big picture, 162 game season. And we're at game 142 at the time of this video, right? I'm recapping game 142, 143 today. I mean, that's barely any games left. If you really go look at the big picture, 20 out of 162, that's not a lot. That's not a lot of games. So here we go, right? I mean, here we go. Technically that's a third of the 2020 season, right? 20 games. So that makes sense as well. The Cubs are an easy team to beat, right? Hopefully, right? And we swept them last time they were here in August of 2019. And last time the Cubs stepped on the field was when Bryce Harper had that walk-off grand slam on August 15, 2019. So it's been over 2 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. It's just crazy. So 1-5 the first pitch today. Let's split the series and hopefully sweep the Cubs and hope that the Braves and Mets both lose as well. So Feltner on the mound for the Rockies, as I said, 0-1 with a 20.25 ERA, and then Aaron Nola for the Phils, 7-8 with a 4.57 ERA. So guys, if you watch this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please hit the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section. At Phillies Sound Stuff Instagram, call or text 267-225-3292. Email me, phillieshatstuff@gmail.com. So Feltner, Nola, 1-5 the first pitch today. So guys, thanks for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phils. I'll see you guys.